Today I want to share with you some thoughts and encouragement about pushing through. I don't know about you, but various people that I've spoken to this last week, it feels like something's shifted and something's changed. And I know that lots of people have found this week particularly difficult, new challenges, or just things have been tougher. And so I just want to spend some time thinking about and encouraging how we can approach our situations when things get tough, and how we can push through and really turn to God and push harder into Him, and what that looks like, and just encourage us with that. So wherever you're at this week, today, let's just start by looking at Joshua. 1 Joshua verse 9, one of God's many promises to us, and it says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And that's an amazing promise from God. I just think that that's wonderful. Whatever situation we're faced with, whatever we're going through, God is telling us to be strong and courageous, that He is there for us. And I think sometimes it doesn't feel like we really take that on board. Sometimes it feels like we're pushing through things and we're dragging God behind us. It doesn't feel like He's necessarily there at our sides, running with us. Other times it feels like maybe He's dragging us through, or other times still He's long gone and we can't even see where He is, and we're stumbling to keep up with Him. We can't see Him anymore. But I think whatever the situation is that we're faced with, we have a choice in how we respond to that. We can choose to lean into God and push into Him, or we can choose to think that the situation's got the better of us. And I know Adam's talked in the past about different types of faith, and I guess this type of faith, when things are hard, we know that God's promises over us are to lean into Him, push through, hold fast. I think I would call that through gritted teeth faith, because sometimes it's about making that choice. I'm going to choose to lean into God. I'm going to choose to trust in His promises, even when our circumstances and our situation and our feelings just don't add up to that and don't seem to make sense. We have to make that choice to lean into God. And the thing that struck me about leaning into God is, if we lean on Him, the greater that we lean on Him, the harder we push into Him, the more of our weight He is carrying. And so the more that we lean into Him, it struck me that the more He must reach out His love for us to carry our heavier burdens and our extra burdens, to carry that. When we lean harder into Him, how much more must He love us? And that's just amazing, and that's regardless of our feelings. And I think we should be really encouraged by that today, and reminded that God loves us and He wants us to lean into Him, and the more we lean into Him, the more He will carry us and take that burden from us. But it is hard. It isn't something we always feel like doing. Sometimes it can lead to us being disappointed that things aren't happening sooner and aren't happening in the way that we think they should. And we do have to be careful not to let disappointment creep in and rob us of that hope and that future that God has promised us and given to us. And so just some other promises that God's, the Bible's just full of promises. It's wonderful, isn't it? Whatever your circumstance, God's got something there to tell you about it and to encourage you with. But I'm just going to pull a couple more out to encourage us today. And this is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." And Isaiah 46, verse 4. "Even to your old age and grey hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you and I will carry you. I will sustain you and I will rescue you." So today, be encouraged to just press on, lean into God, whatever your circumstance, whatever your situation, take hold of God's promises. Look up some promises that you felt he's made to you, verses in the Bible that have really spoken to you, and just take hold of them and remind yourself of them today. God is there. He wants to sustain you. He will be your strength and your shield. He wants to give you, or he has given you, a hope and a future, and he wants to remind you of that today. He wants you to live life in all its abundance. So be encouraged. Choose to once again lean into God. Make that choice today that that's how you're going to face your day to day, is by leaning into God and letting him carry you. However great your leaning is, or however small your leaning needs to be today, he is there and he wants to carry you through. And he has got an abundance of blessings and promises for you. Have a wonderful day.